Good evening, it's Rye Guy. And today we're doing surgery. We're going to be installing the heated grips that I've been talking so much about. Yeah, okay. So, I don't know how many of you guys have ever put your own set of heated grips on. The old ones that I used to, it's cold in here. The old ones that I used to have on my other ATV, my first ATV, which was a 94 Honda Terex 300 FW, little tank. It was a little bit different than this, than just the slide on and clamp on style. They glued on and they were horrible. Hated them, hated them, hated them. Don't ever get the glue on type. Yeah, they're cheaper, but I'm going to tell you, what a hassle. Especially you get to the point where, I don't know if maybe it wasn't the right glue, but I used the glue that they recommended. And it actually came with a kit. It got so hot that the glue would melt, and then the heated grip would come right off in your hand. You're driving along, and all of a sudden you just right off in your hand like that. And that is not safe by any means. Don't take this as a how-to video, but I guess that if you're looking for guidelines, sure. One. Put that here so I don't lose it. Okay, so there's that, and that should get me all I need to do, or should get me where I need to get to. Yep, I'm good. Who needs instructions? It's actually a fairly simple kit to install. This is the Heat Demon Dual Zone. They make a quad zone, and all the quad zone versus the dual zone is in the quad zone. They actually have 2 extra plugs down here, which you can control the voltages out of each. So if you're wearing a heated vest, or if you have like a heated seat, you can actually plug it into that and then control it off of this one controller. So the dual zone are obviously going to be for your hand grips and for your thumb grip, wherever that is in the kit, right here. Like 3M tape in the back, look at that. Name brand. What I really like about these ones is they clamp on. And if you notice right in here, they actually have Loctite right on them already. So that's kind of nice. Make sure that when you're buying heated grips too, you buy, for an ATV, you buy heated grips for an ATV and not a motorcycle. Motorcycles tend to have a twist grip, so they are a little bit thicker down this end, and it would impede with the thumb throttle. Okay, that seems like it's good and tight there. I'll leave that as is. Hopefully it won't come off of my hands. And we'll fish the wires down through. I am a fan of using many zip ties. I try to do things once. So I know that they came with some zip ties, but I've got a whole bunch of black ones here too. Big and small. So I'm going to make sure that I get everything kind of situated. Since we're on the side, before we put a bunch of zip ties on, let's go ahead and feed this thumb throttle down here too. Probably a better idea, then we're not double zip tying anything, double tying. And this does come with, it looks like 2 different sized shrink wrap, new word, shrink wrap. So I'm going to get a little bit of cleaner on that thumb throttle first. There we go. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. And before we put the shrink wrap on, I'll just double check, make sure that we got full range of motion in the throttle, and we do. Feels kind of full. It's cold. When you're doing that, don't zip tie down the throttle cable, because you don't want any pressure on that. Try not to pinch these wires here either. You just keep double checking, making sure. That's the most important thing, is for any reason you do not want your throttle starting to stick. Get rid of our hairs here. Okay. Now, if that is all the way up there, is that going to impede with that wire? Doesn't look like it. Does not look like it. And how am I going to run that wire? Because there's some mechanisms underneath here for the rear brake. I don't want to impede in that either. I might run it straight over here, like so. Put a zip tie right there. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Alright, I'll tighten her down as is right here. So you can see the bracket that comes with the winch controller, the worn winch controller with this ATV. And this box here has a similar mount system that it does come with. And it looks like you're going to replace that one, or just, I don't know. Yes, you do. That bolt is a little bit longer to accommodate that and still squeeze down on this. Better safe than sorry. I'm going to check this out in the instruction manuals here just to see how that mounts. Who needs instructions? Oh, the little tiny cable tie. I just seen it on the instruction manual. The little tiny cable tie is for that thin wire over here to put it right up against the thumb throttle like that. Okay. See? Always read the instruction manual. If I was doing this as a tutorial, I'd be fired. Okay, now we've run the wires. We've got to figure out where we're going to make our power connection to. Pretty thin little hair wires here, but as far as I know, there's no fuse inside of this panel box. So I want a fuse connection. So, especially when we're dealing with fuel-injected bikes. When you buy the Yamaha, or when you buy a Grizzly, a Kodiak, I'm pretty sure it's the same with Kodiak, they give you this. This is a sealed connector that you can jump off of, I think, one of these plugs. I'm going to say it's this gray plug here. I could probably tie into the auxiliary line, which I think is the same plug as this, but I see where Liberty had put the power for the winch solenoid controller here is off of this. So if I have the heater grips going, my GPS plugged in, and I go to use my winch, I don't want that fuse blowing. So I think I'll be okay to use this as a power source. I just need to make sure that I'm tying into the right one here. I don't want to interrupt anything power-wise. This is a great idea. It's sealed connection, and it gives you two power outlets. And it's just a jumper cable. So that looks right. But just to make sure, handy test light. We'll go right off the negative for the battery here. It'll clip to anything. Oh, come on. Okay, so no power, no power. We're going to turn our key on. We got power, we got power. Okay, so that is a keyed connection. That's what I want. Let's go see if I have a bullet connector here. I don't have one. I don't have a bullet connector for here. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I have these, and it's a crimp style, but it actually also is shrink tubed around it already. So once that connection is made, you put your heat source to it, and it'll shrink both ends right and wrap them right nice and tight around the wire for a nice waterproof connection. And when you're dealing with ATVs, you need waterproof connections. Well, it seemed to work. Seemed to work. She's awful tiny, though. This is the stuff that I've used before. I love this stuff. You can get obviously different brands. This is through Caterpillar, but battery saver. It's just like a coating, like a protectant. And I did shut the camera off for a little bit, but I did finish off the connection here and run the negative wire straight off to the battery. I'll just give this a little squirt just to protect that. Same with the positive. If I can get it in there without spraying everything. And this other lead here, what am I going to do with that? I'll just leave it there for now, I guess, and just stuff some dielectric grease down it. Make sure no Mr. Greens get away with eating that connection up. I'll bring you guys around this side. Turn the wheel here a little bit. Actually, it's a good way to check, make sure your wires aren't going to come in contact with anything. I think we're okay. So, ignition, that's a good sign. So, select the zone, grips or thumb. Turn that up to full. Turn that up to full. Boy, that's some bright. Yeah. Yeah. Whew. Oh yeah, that thumb that thumb is going to be real handy. Turn that down. That's just scorching hot already. Okay. I call that one done. I'm just going to button everything up here, make sure my wires are all nice and tucked away, and that'll be that. Not much of a video, but you know, I appreciate you guys spending time with me out in the garage. But anyway, once again, my name is Ryguy8888. Again, don't take this as a battery killing video. Don't take this as a tutorial or anything like that, but it'll give you an idea of what you're into if you get one of these Heat Demon dual zone kits. And hopefully you learned a little bit of something. If not, thanks for hanging out with me. Ryguy out. See you guys in the next run.